we have produced sometime in the middle of last year is that we have our Islamic finance, system principles and operation book, which was published by ISRA. And I would say that this is the first textbook in Islamic finance which address comprehensively the whole topics that is involved in Islamic finance, including the regulatory aspect, the legal aspect, taxation aspect, auditing aspect, the Sharia aspect, as well as the monetary system and whatnot. I mean, all is there in the in our Islamic financial system book, and we get a very good, I would say, response. I mean, from universities. In fact, we have almost most of the public university that have Islamic finance in Malaysia, including IIUM, UITM, and others. They are using our textbook. In addition, from outside Malaysia, Durham University, even in the Middle East, you see in Jordan, as well as some other, even in the States, we have got orders from them because they wanted to use this as their textbook. And on top of that, actually, we are now in the midst of translating this book into Arabic. I mean, this is being done.
I was just about to ask you that.
You see?
In what language?
Yeah, it is. There is the subject chair under the Malik Saud University from Saudi. They have undertaken the task, you see, to translate this book into Arabic. So that is undergoing right now. Okay, and on top of that, we are working with the University of Dauphine in France to translate this book into French language. Okay, and we are also in contact with some parties in China to translate it into Chinese language. So these are
spreading the knowledge around. Let me just take back what you say, that you do research, ISRA do research on certain areas, like you say sukuk or forex. Let's just take sukuk. When you say you do research, is it just from the classical interpretation, or is it taking into account the legislation that comes into place, the accounting matters that come into place? Or is it a comprehensive helicopter kind of overview, or is it just from the classical aspect that you do research on?
Actually, we usually what we'll do is that, you see, we will identify the issues. You see, take for example, the sukuk issue, sukuk, right?
The asset back and asset base.
Yeah, asset back and asset based, right? Now, those who are in Islamic finance, okay, they would know that there was a pronouncement by the chairman of the IOF Sharia Board a couple of years back. You see that there are some issues related to
which Malaysia do not recognize. Which Malaysia do not recognize. Right? But that's a separate issue.
Yeah, that's a separate issue. You see, in which there are some issue when it comes to ownership and whatnot. You see, so what we will do is that, of course, we will try to tackle this from the Sharia angle. Okay, we talk about, let's say, ownership from the Sharia point of view. What constitutes ownership? Let's say if I enter into a contract with you, you see, what are the requirements of the contract and what tantamount to the transfer of ownership. So that is on the theoretical aspect. On the practical aspect, we will look at the documentation related to the issuance of the sukuk and see whether whatever is there in Sharia is in line or not, or whatever there in the document, you see, is in line or not with the requirement of Sharia. If there is any issue, then we will highlight it in our
So the synergy is there between the theory and the application aspect.
Exactly. I think that is important, you see, because as we go along, okay, of course, nobody claims that Islamic finance is perfect. All right, we do have areas in which we need to improvise. So, through this kind of research, this kind of discovery, I would say that slowly, gradually, inshallah, I think we are heading towards the right direction, in which we will try to refine whatever that we are doing, and that, inshallah, we will bring a good success to the industry.
So with regards to the research that ISRA have undertaken, as an observer of Islamic finance, where can I get hold of this research publication issued by ISRA?
Okay, great. All our research, you see, we can see that you can find it on our website.
That is
www.isra.my.
www.isra.my.
And you can register yourself. Okay, once you have registered, then you have access to the full collection.
So when you say register, is it just free of charge registration, or do I need to make some payment?
It is free of charge. You see, as it is free of charge. You see, so you register because we need the data of those people who are using our resources. Okay, so then you can download. What we have there is that interesting. I think as it is now, from my exposure, we are the only organization that have the biggest collection of fatwas which has been translated from Arabic into English.
So when you say fatwas, is it just from Imam Shafi'i, or is it all the four imams?
I mean these are the fatwas as well as the Sharia resolution from Sharia boards all over the world. Okay, including what we have in Malaysia. The Sharia Advisory Council of Bank Negara, the Sharia Advisory Council of the Securities Commission, okay, including what is there in Malaysia. Okay, so as it is now, we have over 600 fatwas which we have translated it. You see, and the latest one, Kuwait Finance House, have commissioned us to translate their fatwas. You see, we have already translated their fatwas and we are uploading it onto our website. You see, so we have the biggest collection. So we have the fatwas there, and we have classified those fatwas based on the topic. So whoever wanted to see what are the fatwa of, let's say, X organization, so we have it, the Arabic one as well as the English one, and we have all our research papers, we have articles, you see, and other publication journals and whatnot. All we have it on our website.
So basically, I don't have to go to the respective institutions' website. I just go to ISRA, www.isra.my, and I'll be able to get the comprehensive.
I mean, those who wanted to get hold of the hard copy, you see, I mean, selected publication of ISRA is there in well-known outlets such as MPH and others. You see, alternatively, you can come to ISRA or you can contact us by phone. We can arrange for the delivery as well as, you know, I mean, to get you the hard copy of it.
Dr. Akram, moving forward, we've just talked about the research department. You also have your consulting department, or a very interesting name called ICON.
ICON, yeah.
Can you elaborate further on ICON?
All right. I mean, on the ICON side, actually, we just established it about 3 months back. You see, ICON is a very new entity. Actually, the reason why we established ICON is that because we are getting quite many requests.
Right.
You see, from the industry as well as, you know, from Malaysia, outside Malaysia, asking us to, they wanted us to conduct certain research. You see, they wanted to commission us to conduct certain research. And some practitioners in the industry come to us, they said they want to develop certain product. They want us to join hand in hand with them in order to come up with the product. And some have requested us to give Sharia endorsement for their product and whatnot. So as a research entity, of course, we do have the capability, because we have in-house researchers, you see, in which we engage them to do, I mean, different kind of research. So basically, ICON will be, ICON is undertaking, at the moment, ICON is undertaking, you see, all the activities which is commissioned to them by outsiders. You see, meaning in other word, I would say that any income generating activities, you see, is handled by ICON. So ICON will deal with the different parties. As it is now, we do have some project here in Malaysia, and we do have some in the Middle East as well as some other part of the world. You see, so basically, I mean, this is the main function of ICON. Some we have completed it, you see, and some is still in the pipeline, and we are getting quite a number of other.
Can you give examples of the consulting jobs that ICON have undertaken?
Okay, part of it is what we are doing with, we are almost complete actually with the Employer Provident Fund, with the EPF. I mean, some job that they have given us, we have done it. You see, in addition to that, there are some entity in the Middle East, in Oman. You see, they wanted to convert their entity into Islamic. You see, so they have they have commissioned us to come up with the Sharia framework for it. You see, so we are undertaking that. Even some entity in Dubai. Okay, we are working with them. You see, so these are among the
Jobs that you are-
yeah. Icon is undertaking.
Having said that, what do you think? How would you like to think ISRA would be portrayed, or where do you like to move ISRA in 3 or 5 years down the road?
Okay, I would very much like to see that ISRA become the reference center of all matters related to Sharia in Islamic finance, meaning that anyone who have anything in mind about Islamic finance,
Will come to
the
ISRA.
first thing they will think is to go to ISRA. You see, meaning that's why we are now developing a comprehensive portal. You see, so you want to know anything about Islamic finance, the place is ISRA. So that is, what I have in my mind, and we are working towards developing that. You see, because now, there are many organizations that is writing, that is doing things about Islamic finance, but all are scattered. You see, so our job is that to bring it together. You see, so that anything, people want to know, what click into their mind is ISRA.
Dr. Akram, in conclusion, what would your parting words be to the viewers of Islamic Finance at the Capital?
Okay. One of the challenges that we have in Islamic finance is, I always mention this about paradigm change. I'm not talking about paradigm shift, I'm talking about paradigm change.
What's the difference anyway?
Okay. Now, when we do Islamic finance, you see, the issue now that we have in the market is that people think conventionally and they do Islamic, right?
A replication
yeah.
or duplication.
They do Islamic, but their way of thinking is conventional. That's why I said, when I said paradigm change, meaning that you have to change that. You don't shift it. You see, if you shift it, meaning that you are still doing it the conventional way, but you are just, quote unquote, I sometimes use the term Islamizing the conventional product. So, so what I have in mind is that, you see, I hope one day that when we think Islamic, let's say, okay, I want to develop an Islamic product. Islamic product, the risk profile of the product is different from the conventional. Whenever whatever underlying contract that I use, you see, I really understand it. You see, what are the requirements and fulfill all the requirements. So that what I really admire, that you see, we need to come up with something new. We need to innovate, you see, and think out of the box. I think, inshallah, with that, you see, we will really move forward.
Akram, thank you very much.
Okay.
With those parting words, we conclude this session of Islamic Finance at the Capital on ISRA. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Assalamualaikum. Islamic Finance at the Capital is with Associate Professor Dr. Ashraf Washdi Dusuki, Head Research Affairs with ISRA, the International Sharia Research Academy, and we are doing a book review. Basically, the first is the fundamentals of Islamic banking. Dr. Ashraf, can you talk more about this book?
Actually, this is a book that I co-write together with Dr. Nordianawati Irwani Abdullah. This book actually explains and delineates the whole fundamental aspects of Islamic banking operation. What are the underlying contracts? What are the underlying Sharia principles that actually structuring the whole processes, either in terms of instruments or in terms of operation. It covers the whole aspects of banking.
Only banking, not takaful.
Not takaful, because even banking is already a huge subject matters. It covers retail banking, corporate banking. It covers the front office as well as the back office. When I said back office, includes risk management issues, treasury operation, governance aspects, and of course, these books try to, illustrate the issues emerging, and sometimes what are the Sharia issues that are invoked in terms of the practice and operation of Islamic banking.
So basically, this book is more for the beginners rather than people who has been in the industry.
It can be used for the beginners as well as the practitioners. In other words, because as you can see, Islamic banking in Malaysia, even though it started in 1983, but most of the people in the industry are quite new to the subject matter. There is no one single book that actually explains in details how it operates and what are the fundamentals and contracts available, what are the Sharia principles. The most important thing, how these aspects of operation relates to the Sharia perspective of the whole Islamic banking operation.
And how long did it take for you and your co-writer to finish the book?
About 6 to 7 months. Yeah.
6 to 7 months, right? And it was published
by IPFIM. IPFIM is Islamic Banking and Finance Institute of Malaysia. It's actually one of the organisation under the umbrella of Central Bank Malaysia, Bank Negara Malaysia.
If I were to purchase this book, where can I get it?
Yeah, it's available in Kinokuniya for the retail price of RM198. Or you can get a better discount if you go direct to IPFIM.
I see. Thank you.